Hello guys, Squirrel here. The testing continues. This time it's tank versus heli. Starting off, we've got the TV missile in the helicopter, and we're testing how it affects the tank with reactive armor. So the first test, as you can see, all reactive armor present. Incoming TV missile. As you would expect, it takes the near side reactive armor away. What do you think will happen next? By all rights, I would have thought I will now get damage from the next TV missile, but something interesting happens. Do you see that? The offside reactive armor got taken away, so that second TV missile did nothing to the tank. That makes no sense to me, but that is what happens. Third one comes in. What's that going to do?
Each of your reactive armors off until you have no reactive armors.
Okay, so that actually does some damage. That did 61% damage, taking it down to 39%, which is an instant disable. So if you don't have reactive armor, then a TV missile to the side will disable you straight away. But I find that effect weird with the reactive armor. I don't understand why the why the opposite side of reactive could or would ever blow or even protect you. The whole point of it is the explosion of the reactive armor is like a counter explosion to the missile. So why would the offside one even detonate? So what about from the front? So we've got rear reactive armor, so if somebody hits the front, what's that going to do? Is that going to protect me as well because it's on the opposite side of the tank? Or will it just damage the tank? Let's find out. Okay, front side, 61% damage. Exactly the same as the side. But the rear reactive, the opposing reactive armor to the side I was facing, didn't protect me in the same way that the side reactives did. Which is kind of interesting and kind of inconsistent at the same time. Although the front doesn't have any reactive armor, so maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe. Okay, let's put all the reactive armor back on and do the exact same frontal shot with the TV missile. What do you think will happen? Possibly not what you expect to happen. Let's find out. Here's a front shot with all the reactive armor present this time. Remember when we didn't have any side, we took full damage. So let's take a front TV missile and see what happens. Alright, look at that. 0 damage and it blew the rear reactive armor. How weird is that? Seriously. If I've got side reactives, I take a frontal TV missile and my rear reactive blows. And yet, when I've got no rear reactive, I take a frontal TV missile and I take damage even though I've got side reactives. He's like, the side reactives have to be there in order for the rear to blow in the first place, but once the rear's gone, I don't get any protection. However, if I don't have sides, the rear doesn't blow at all. Unbelievably unpredictable. This is just so strange. Alright, next test then. Let's move on from the TV missile, go for straight rockets. I've got all the reactives on. So let's land the helicopter and see if the reactive armor protects me. I've got them all on. Let's see if I get any protection from attack helicopter rockets. Absolutely none. Doesn't blow the reactive. Did damage. So I took about 29% damage, but a lot of those rockets would have hit the ground. So the attack helicopter is now going to fly up and try and get all of the rockets on me. Let's see if we get more damage when they all hit me. Yep, there you go. Look at that. That's almost 50% damage, but it's not a disable. And the reactive armor did not blow. So I got no protection against rockets, only against the TV missile. And the TV missile has strange and inconsistent results with reactive armor. So that's the first lot of testing. So what about the second seat gunner in the attack helicopter? What effect does that have against the tank? Does that blow any reactive armor? So let's land a helicopter in front and get the second seat gunner to hit us on the front of the tank.
So I'm going to use the main cannon on the gunner seat.
There you go, that was 29% damage, reactive armor not affected. So there's no disable from that,
Yeah, so there you go.
but there's no protection from that either. Okay, let's try using that secondary gunner seat on the helicopter and attacking different parts of the tank. So we just attack the front.
Okay, Dave, do you want to switch?
Let's now fly up and try to hit the top turret of the tank. See if it does any more damage.
On the top. Yep.
Remember, the front did about 29% damage to us. So on the top, a little bit more. That's what, 34% damage? So you get a bit more damage from the secondary gunner when you hit on top than you do from the front, which kind of makes sense. The front is a bit more armoured than on the top. What about the side? Okay, that's whoa, that's quite a bit of damage. That's 48% damage on the side, about 34% on the top, and about 31% from the front. So the last final question is, what about the rear attack? There's no doubt about this. Rear attack, and you get 79% damage on the rear, which is more than the side. The side, though, was quite considerable, but that rear attack is devastating. It's an instant disable and almost destroys the tank. A few rockets and that would have finished it off. So rear, then side, then top, then front. That's the damage order, and that makes some sense. Remember, though, the reactive armour did no protection to any of that. It only protected us from the TV missile. Everything else, the attack chopper, will damage you directly. So what situation is the tank in if it gets a full rocket and gunner attack on it from behind? It's not pretty.
Yep, go.
Look at this. Oh my life. 3%. I nearly got completely destroyed. We're assuming here that all of those things hit, all of the rockets and all of the bullets. Maybe one or two missed. So potentially, maybe from a rear, the attack helicopter could totally one-shot the tank. If you land all the shots on it, that is. I don't know for certain, but it's pretty devastating. By the time you've got out and repaired here, it'll have made a turning pass and you'll be finished off.
Yeah.
If that happens to you, suggest you get out the tank and do one. Same thing from the front, full rockets and gunner against the tank.
No, not really.
Rear shot almost killed us off completely, took us to 3%.
Alright, ready?
What about a frontal assault? What will that do?
One.
Okay, okay. Ooh, 14%. Seriously, that's hardly any difference. Basically, the attack helicopter is a nightmare for the tank. With a gunner and rockets in there, it's almost one-shot territory, but severely disabled. You'll be very lucky to get out of that alive. Okay, it's bonus footage time.
Ah, that one.
Spawn beacon has allegedly been fixed so that you can predict and control the direction that you face when you spawn on the spawn beacon. I faced it against the window, and Stoney is going to spawn in and tell me which direction he is facing. Well, you can actually see that. It oriented him as he spawned in. He did indeed face the window, so that has been fixed. So he's going to suicide now. I'm going to pick up the beacon, turn it around so that it faces the wall this time, and see what happens next. So pre-patch, this would in theory spawn you always facing north. It was entirely uncontrollable and very silly, not very reconnaissance like, but you can see there he spawned in and he's now facing the wall. So far so good as far as this patch is concerned. I really like the speed of which you can throw ammo boxes and med packs down now. That's a nice feature, keeps the speed of the game up. It feels like flags are being capped slightly quicker, though I'm not sure about that. Let me know if there's anything that you guys want me to test specifically. Leave the comments in the video. I've left a link to the Reddit thread for this video. I wouldn't mind if you would go there and give that a quick vote up for me. That would help me out. But yeah, I shall go and play with some more weapons now and do some more testing. Take care, guys. See you soon.